Hi, beautiful ones. It's Audrey Light Language, and I'm going to read a message for you that I received May 24th, 2017. And when you add that up, 5/24/2017, you get 21, which then breaks down to 3 for a trinity. And then the time that I received it was 10:56 a.m., which you add that up comes to 12, which is then 3 again. And the funny thing, which is not funny, no coincidence, the time that it had ended when I received it, I'm going to let you know as well, and that was also a 3. So that was like craziness. Wow, 3, 3, and 3. Trinity, 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 12 of 9. So when you add that up, it was 21 and then 3 again. So this is from Source and a very important message. And it had a couple of different titles. The selfhood, the end of the game, of forgetfulness, cosmic beingness, the meaning of life, the forgetfulness, the remembrance, the great ones, the decree. So I'm going to read it for you now. And please share this with credit to me, Audrey Light Language. I would appreciate it. Okay, here we go. There is a great decree. The heavens, the heavenly realms. Sorry, there is a great decree in the heavens, the heavenly realms, from Source, that these times, this experience of the forgetfulness that was entered, as some have named the experiment, the game, shall never again be entered into. The extent of the loss of life, that grand gift of life, and the gift of awareness and being conscious. In the forgetfulness, it was entered into what is called or can be referred to as pits of hell. For from the fear of separation, although an imaginary one, from that fear such atrocities to another were born. The need to live off the light and energy of others, because one was so far away and lost to themselves and their source that they too are. That such things were born from forgetfulness, as was said in a previous message, in and through sleeping in forgetfulness and awareness of the selfhood. In the game of the forgetting, nightmares were born, to which now there is the fullest knowing of what the selfhood is not, and through all that has gone before, that has added to the knowing of what the self is in forgetfulness of itself, that is now known. All that you, and you as the selfhood, because you can never be anything other than that which you are, the selfhood in expression. So as you have explored ever so deeply that which you are not, you now know more of that which you are, as you now know that which you are and that which you are not, which gives you and the all that is a bigger, fuller picture of itself, now knowing ever so much more of that which it is, for having known what it is not. You, my beloveds, are the ones. You are the aspects of the selfhood that so lovingly took part in that experiment, that game as it's called, and so selflessly, so lovingly entered into an experience, to experience and observe and witness and feel what it is to be in forgetfulness of self and the selfhood, and it as you purposely lost yourself to your own self, individually, collectively, and as a part of the bigger, larger selfhood that you are, a spark of divinity and expression, source in motion, in movement. As you entered into the lower realms, you went denser and denser, heavier and heavier in frequency, into the lower density and polarity experience. Game, as it is called. And you, as you played, as you experienced, as you dreamed the things of nightmares, through that which was created in forgetfulness of self and the selfhood. Thusly, all that comes from forgetfulness was birthed and experienced to the fullest depths of its expression, to be experienced. This has gone on for eons, for cycle upon cycle. Although there is no time, there is the turning of the cycle, spirals upon spirals. This is not an experience had only upon your world of the game, but one played out on a cosmic level, that you are now understanding you are part of the cosmos as a cosmic being, and as such have been part of the cosmic game of forgetfulness of the selfhood and what it has birthed forth as well. Now is the time of the remembrance, remembering, recalling, to re/member, join back to and to recall, call back to you the remembrance, that which you are, of the selfhood, Never again shall the selfhood enter into forgetfulness of the self. Never again shall the light be so dimmed down that such nightmares could be brought forth, such a sickness, such a depravity, such a plague had been brought forth upon the selfhood as a parasitic existence was developed. For as one's light was so diminished within the forgetfulness of the selfhood that one became as a parasite to sustain itself upon the life force of others, to maintain themselves, as they had gone so far into forgetfulness that they needed others' life force to sustain them, for they forgot the connection to the all and the life-giving force. No longer will there be the forgetting and what was brought forth from it, and the separation and nightmare creations experience birth from it. These experiences shall be forged, the capital letters that, in the book of life, capital letters, and life's expression, to know the all that it is, and to experience itself as the all that it is, and forevermore it will be made known the journey into forgetfulness that so many undertook so lovingly. For the knowledge of the selfhood and separation and duality and polarity, separation of forgetfulness, to know the depths of nightmare and the parasitic existence and plague that was born out of it, and never shall it be entered into ever again. For it is in a contradiction of itself, and what life is. Life is renewal and creation, expressed in experience. Life is not, nor can ever be, stagnant, and the stagnation of the parasitic plague that is brought forth from forgetting and the separation of the selfhood's stagnation and contradiction to the selfhood's expression is life. To bring forth creation of life, to express through continually, to explore itself, life expressing life, life witnessing life as all that it is, and all its multitudes of expressions, to know life, not death, for there is no death. Life is eternal and an eternal expression eternally, worlds without end, Alpha and Omega. And the stagnation at the time of the forgetting brought forth would be as a death over and over, the depths of the same, with no creativity or creation, but as a parasitic plague, just the eating and destruction of all it touches, which is death. And life is not death. Life is life. Stagnation is as a death. And so birth from forgetfulness and separation is stagnation, which is as a death. And so all that has been witnessed, all that has been expressed and experienced in forgetfulness has been added to the book of life. The data banks for those technological ones. The information gathered and downloaded to be shared and known forever, for the all and all its parts and expression, but to enter into it ever again shall not be. The game, the experiment, and its experience of it has reached the end, as you have always known it would when you so lovingly entered into it. The forgetting. You've played your part so lovingly, so wonderfully, so selflessly, and you are triumphant as you have recalled, remembered, and then called back, as in re/called and re/joined, as in re/membered, that which you are, A-R-E. And the A-R-E in another message, all that you are, all which you are. And A-R-E stands for, they put a capital A-R-E. A is aware, R resurrected, eternal, eternally. Aware, resurrected, eternally. So all that which you are, as part of source and expression, even through the darkness and the deepest depths of it. Some of you remembered that which you are and what you are a part of and what had been entered into. Thusly, for some, your constant search for what is my mission? What am I supposed to be doing? And this age-old question in your experience is, what is the meaning of life and your existence? And now, at the end of this game, this experiment, this witnessing and knowing through the experience of it, the forgetting. Now at the end of it, see the wording you've used through your histories and foretold of an end times. Well, this is it, beloveds. Game over. It's the end times, the ending of the game that was foretold, held, and remembered there would be the ending of the game, and never more shall existence enter into such creations in forgetfulness of the selfhood, for it is a contradiction to itself and to life itself, which is what the selfhood is, life and expression, to experience itself through the parts of the selfhood and expression and through all that it is as parts of the higher it's parts of the huger picture of the selfhood, which is life in expression, life in exploration, life being in beingness of its many expressions, to experience, know, and joyously birth life, to dance through it in grace and wonderment of itself. Never, capital letters more, capital letters shall, capital letters forgetfulness, and capital be entered into. End of the game, beloveds, capitals. End times, capital letters. The time of the end of the game. Not of you, but of the game, the experience, the expression of forgetfulness. You are, capital A-R-E, so triumphant. You are so triumphantly entering out of to gain the prize, the winning trophy, yourself awoken, aware, remembering, rejoining, raised up, transformed, transfigured, resurrected to your selfhood. As foretold for eons, you filled with light, you ascending up in the frequency levels as the vibrations raise, as you leave the game and its density behind and are filled with light, ascending up and out, raised up from the dense, heavy forgetting, to be renewed and go create a new creation, filled with light and remembrance of that which you are and have always been. Renewed to yourself, made whole, W-H-O-L-E, in the holiness with an H, you are. Whole and holy with an H, a spark of divinity, source and expression. You have gained your prize, always held there for you, for when your journey has ended, for it is yours. You now know the meaning of life. You've always been asking and searching for those questions that came out of your forgetfulness experience. What is the meaning of life? Why am I here? Why do I exist? What is it all for? And now you know. You have the truth and awareness, and with it the power and the knowing and the strength in it, and the truth that you are a spark of divinity, part of the divine in exploration of itself, the selfhood, both individually, in its many individual expressions, aspects of your selfhood, your individual lives, and then collectively the part of the many that you are a part of in a multitude of expressions, and both of these in human form, and the added awareness that you now have of the galactic and dimensional beings that you are, and your cosmic beingness that you've also created in and within. And then as the all, part of the all that is life and expression, and you are it, life. You are part of and an expression of, to experience it, life, and to create anew and to experience in and within, life expressed, renewed and anew. The grand prize at the end of the game, gained at the end times, of the end of the forgetting and the separation, is yours. Awareness, your consciousness awoken to that which you are. The prize, the understanding, the meaning of life is you are having awareness and being conscious and to express and experience that which you are, life and expression, as all that it is, to experience life, to dance in and within the dance of life. In the forgetting, you walk through nightmares made of forgetfulness of self. Now in remembering, you shall dance joyously through your creation, removed from the stagnation that the forgetfulness had brought, and it is being deemed, it is being proclaimed, it is being made, capital letters, the law, capital letters, not never, capital letters, shall this be entered into again, for it is in contradiction of itself, and life shall not be in contradiction of itself. Life cannot be in contradiction of life. The witnessing, the knowing of separation has been known, and it is the law that it shall never be entered into again anywhere throughout existence, cosmically, dimensionally, energetically. Never, through all means of creation, shall it be expressed again, for it is written in the book of life. Life means life, not death. Life is renewal, not stagnation of death. The information downloaded to be accessed for those that would like the knowing of it, but henceforth it may only be experienced as information accessed for the knowing of it on a conscious level, but never again entered into experientially. For it is a contradiction of itself in life, so never shall the experience be expressed to enter into forgetfulness, but with awareness and knowing and remembrance, the information may be accessed from the book of life, but never entered into again. And then that was from Source, and here we go now, some other came through. We are the White Wing Collective. We are the Nine. We are the messengers. We are the realms of those you call the heavenly realms, reaching to all the levels of existence and authorities. We are the parts of the all that have sat in remembrance as you so lovingly entered forgetfulness and the forgetting. We have witnessed your journeys and your great contribution of love to the all, to understand, witness, and know all of that which it is not. And now, so triumphantly, and we so joyously also now witness your triumphant end of times, end of the times of forgetfulness. It's the end game, ending of the game, ending of the times that were to, in remembrance, we go on to create anew, renewed, and joyously welcome you back to the remembrance entered out of the forgetfulness. These are written in the book of life. And you, as source and expression, are the ones that have written it, adding to the knowledge of the self and the selfhood when lost to the self in forgetfulness. You are the golden ones, returned home to yourself at the end of a great journey you had undertaken. And as all those that access this knowledge and knowing of those who so lovingly and bravely journey to the uncharted territories and realms to gain the knowing, the knowledge of the self and the selfhood and forgetting sleeping states, that is now in the book of the knowing of the self, the book of life, that forevermore other expressions of the selfhood may access for knowledge through knowing on a conscious level, that which those of you, the yous of the now moment of the end times, walk through experientially for the others and the selfhood to have the knowledge of it. In what you call future turning of cycles, your descendants, which are yourselves, will look upon you as the great ones that you are of the past, although it's an impression, right, as all is one and there's no time. They are predecessors, and the greatest part that they had played in the book of life, life's knowing itself as all that it is and all that it is not, through your great works of love, to then more fully know the all that it is from the knowing of what it is not. And you, beloveds, are those great ones, the golden ones, and you shall go down in history, as you say, but a true history of knowing for eons of turning of cycles. You, beloveds, are the great golden ones. You are the ancient ones. You are the ones foretold of and told of forever through the book of life. You are the shining ones that through the darkest of dark, through the depths and dreads of forgetting, the lowest of light, the heaviest of densities of forgetting, of separation, still yet through it all were the triumphant and remembered, yourself and that which you are a part of, life in creation, life creating life, life in expression, life experience through those expressions to know itself and to know life. You have traveled the corridors of death, for stagnation and forgetfulness, sleep, birth in forgetting, that is nightmares, and all of it holds the parasitic plague that was brought forth from it. All is a death upon life itself, and its eternal nature of renewal and eternal life expressions of growth and expansion and joyfulness and grace and caliber were being extinguished in the perpetuation of the stagnation of the forgetfulness which created a plague upon itself as the parasite spread. That was brought forth in forgetfulness, so never again shall it be entered into, for life is life, and not death. And the stagnation that produces that which is a death unto life, and life cannot, nor will it be ever extinguished. And so the game and its stagnation is over. Game over, the end of it. And so the ending of the game, the end times, and your participation and selfless act, even in forgetfulness of the selfhood, still yet within those dark, dense expression, you golden ones remembered yourselves and journeyed home triumphant, and made whole that which you are after a long journey's end. You return home to yourself, triumphant and whole, and holy with an H, made whole with a W in the end times as the game is over. And you recall and remember and are made whole with a W and holy with an H. That which you are, source and expression, a part of the divine, returned home at the end of a long journey of exploration, triumphant, golden ones. forever known through the book of life as expressions of source that entered into the forgetting and triumphantly exited out of it to remember all that you are, life in expression of itself. And thusly, where they always say all of so many of the ones in existence or observing us and watching us never been done before, and you'll see what happens with that, where it goes, and so interested in us. See, the golden ones and all that's been going on through the book of life to never be entered into again. So a little just something else they wrote. Many of you had come as forerunners and predecessors, messengers to assist others in their waking and remembering, to bring in these great times of remembering and the great decree of the Lord. Okay, beautiful ones. So this is a very beautiful message about the golden ones, the decree, the law, the end of times, and the remembering and returning to the selfhood. So I am Audrey, Light Language Channel. They extended my name because I do so much even more than the beautiful, wonderful light language. So now it's Audrey Light Language, and I'm known around the world by that name, so cannot change the name, but add to it. Audrey Light Language, spiritual architect, energy engineer. And I speak the language of light, language of the Akash, bring in the fairies, bring in the ancient ones, beautiful ones. There's so many who feel bad because they do not have, they have responsibilities to others, so they cannot just take and go, or perhaps they do not have the finances to go in a cave or a holy place somewhere upon the earth. And Spirit would not leave you out, you know, through this work that I have, there where you are, right in your home, where you are, the ancient ones come to you in your presence to work with you, so you don't have to worry about being left out, if not being able to financially go to a sacred space somewhere, or you know, to do that. So it can be done for you. Also, I speak the language of the Akash, which is going in and not reading it, but rewriting it, working on the soul level for energetics, traumas, heavy densities, clogs, energies, and all of this to be released, and then codings, upgrades for the DNA of the on the level of the DNA, and releasing generational things, ancestral from your ancestry things, childhood issues, unconscious, subconscious, conscious level, to get in there really, really deeply at that soul level and release what needs to be released. So you take in the upgrades and help you adjust, you know, to all this energy and all that's going on now, and to empower you to stand your divine birthright, take back your sovereignty, that which is yours. And so for me to help you become an architect, so you're no longer part of any other's agenda, but you're architect of your own agenda, and to work with energies. So you have your own creations. Yes, to unplug from the matrices, unplug from the old stories and habits, and the energies perpetuated, spiral, entangled over and over, eon upon eons of time in that story and in the forgetfulness. So to help you release from that, and to have upgrades, because the sacred key code numbers, which I do as well, channel through, are like 100 long of numbers lists that you will receive that work on your DNA in the field at that moment, and then you have those numbers to read over for a tool for yourself to have to work with them. Okay, beautiful ones. So if you'd like to connect with me, Audrey Light Language Channel, okay, hummingbird1211@gmail.com, 347-840-2711. Please share this message and give credit to me, the channel, Audrey Light Language, please, spiritual architect, energy engineer, and I hope that you will be connecting with me to take part of the work. Spirit said this is a wellspring that comes through this work, so it really helps you to be fortified and enlivened and made strong. And also, please, if you want to look on YouTube for, some other messages that were brought forth. Beautiful Dreamer, Awaken to Thee, and Homeward Bound, because we are bound home, and also as tide bound because there's nowhere else for us to go. And Beautiful Dreamer, Awaken to Thee is an old song poem that was, but they entitled it that because waken to you, to thee, and to source thee, you as it thee. So they're saying how before we slept and in forgetfulness sleep, nightmares remain, but now there's going to be the sleeping, but the sleeping in a lucid type of a dream, so you're more empowered and control of the dream. And then to beautiful dreams, because yet still we dream, but on to beautiful dreams. So that's another beautiful message if you want to look that up, and the time of the Great Divide and such. But this one is really, really important, the newest message. And again, I got it on the date, which became the 3 May 24, 2017. You break that down, it comes to 3, and the time that it had begun, and the time that it had 10:56. We break that down to 3 again, and the time that it actually finished coming into me again was it is Eastern Time, 12:09, which again breaks down to 3 Trinity. So here you go, from Source, Great Decree, from Heaven. So please again, share it. It's very important about remembering, and the end times, which are understanding of the end of the game. Okay, beautiful ones, I'm going to speak some light language for you. Unamahane hunamahanana karu kuru kuru selepakate shiktakami tushkut amna it e isheveru turtikashak Echelevant tu me arus le partun et si echelepanton akaki un ayum se le pantur etertasha se le vent tu me kasha se le virte kasha kasha se le vent te kasha se le vent tu ronsonane in mahone mahanena c'est le vent tout te cache tum c'est say fairies semeante de l'un sont et cacha c'est le vent tout ne me cache c'est par terre tout ne me cache say et c'est ça chérie et c'est ça et c'est ça et c'est ça. Again, I have clients around the world. Order Light Language, Spiritual Architect, Energy Engineer, Hummingbird1211@gmail.com. You can work with me and have your releasing and your upgrades, and it's full total healing on all your bodies, etheric, mental, physical, emotional bodies. And please share this very, very important message about the decree and the law and the end of times, the end times, and you, the triumphant golden ones. All right, with credit to me, Audrey Light Language. Please, please share it. It's very important. Much love, guys, and I hope I'll be working with you and you take advantage of this. Yes, as the Wellspring Spirit says it is, to come through to fortify you and help you be strong as you're going on and through all of this that's going on. Okay, beautiful one. Much love. Much love. Bye.